Hi guys, hello. Adam Bernas. Welcome in our next episode of CoffeeNOW. And I'm looking through the window right now, and the coffee it's a good thing, definitely good thing for today. I don't know how about you, but the place where I'm located in is kind of a dark, windy, wet. So coffee is a good idea for the beginning of the day. And like I said, that's the next episode of our, let's say, Coffee Now series. For those of you who attended the last meetings or got any information of what we've been discussing, the first two episodes were dedicated to Gen AI, which is a relatively new thing, new solution, new capability in the platform. And I believe that we are all exploring and developing it. And I assume that we all know that that really is going to bring us a lot of benefits in a near future. But yeah, we did kind of go through the introduction to the topic. We will see how that evolves in upcoming months, and definitely all of the questions, things that were discussed by us, that we touched upon, we'll be addressing. So any questions, any concerns, again, any need to elaborate, let us know. Of course, we will be more than happy to continue the topic with you. And I believe that within 2-3 months, we'll get back with some additional episodes where we will get more into the practical side of things. For today, and I believe that also will be like two parts of the topic, we decided to, let's say, discuss or focus on common service data model. And we believe that for the majority of you, this is the topic that is definitely more in practice, let's say so. So I believe that all of you already, to some extent, touched common service data model concept. Probably some of you did already start the implementation or are within or during the implementation, let's say so. Some of you maybe are just at the beginning of this journey, and this is what we are talking about with few of our customers. But basically, this is definitely something that all of you can benefit, and I believe that the maturity here, comparing to Gen AI, is bigger in every, let's say, company, with every customer that we are facing. So what I'm going to do, how I'm planning to conduct that sessions, CSDM sessions, will be, again, start with some introduction to get the understanding of, what's your point of view, what you would like to know. And definitely the second part, I would like to focus on things that we are facing during our CSDM implementations. Not to brag too much, but within, let's say, SPOC engagements, we did several CMDB and CSDM implementations. So that's one of the goals, right? I would like really to kind of share the experience and talk to you about things that we noticed during those engagements, and maybe even it would be better to focus on things that were problematic, of any challenges, troubles that we did face or we are still facing. And yeah, again, the format, the concept of those CoffeeNOW meetings, CoffeeNOW sessions is to engage with you, right? So whenever you have any questions, just shoot. We are monitoring the chat. We are monitoring your questions, your comments. So please feel free to participate. I know that there is really a lot of content regarding what CSDM is, what are the purposes, what is the purpose, what are the goals to, let's say, that you can benefit when you implement or roll out this framework. But starting from the definition, right? What is common service data model? I like to answer that question saying that this is let's say it is a framework, right? But we are using this to describe how we are managing our services and how we are managing our digital products, right? So this is a framework that is designed, prepared, and available in the platform that we should follow to map, design, build our services, right? What's the value, right? So how we can benefit again from deploying common service data model? What are the benefits? So definitely what you will get, what you will gain is better visibility into your estate, into your environment, right? You will be able to understand, or you will be able to let your colleagues, let the company understand what are the services that you are delivering, that you are maintaining, how they are built, right? And what's really important, who is responsible, who is accountable for managing or maybe deploying those services in your environment. The aim of CSDM implementation is also increasing the efficiency of our operations, right? So we would like to identify the insights, and we would like to understand what's going on with our services, right? How to work, how to act to be more efficient in terms of delivering the value related to services. You will increase also the productivity, right? So you will be able to set priorities, understand what are the critical events based on service-oriented information. What's more important, what's less important, what should be taken at the very beginning, what kind of issues could possibly wait before you will manage the most important and critical one. And the other thing is also that you will be equipped to make more informed decisions, right? If we understand the service health, you will be able to, let's say, act more precisely to understand what's the availability of our service, right? If we are meeting SLAs related to particular services, what is the CSAT, how we are being ranked by our customers or our employees, right? What are the vulnerabilities? So those things are really the crucial one that you should, let's say, understand and consider as benefits of CSDM implementation. And looking at this from a different angle, we can also think of what we will or how we are going to suffer if we will not adopt to CSDM. And basically, if you will look at this slide, I like to think about this as the costs, right? That we will get against, right? When we'll start to customize our platform, and when we will make the decision not to follow those best practices, right? If we will make the decision that CSDM is something that we will not focus on, or we will focus to some extent, right? So the increase of inefficiency, the technical depth, the fact of not fully leverage the investments into the ServiceNow platform, right? And the last thing that you will see here is the teams that will not be able to work as efficient as possible when we think about the cross-functional collaboration within our environment. So basically, the value realization of the investment in the platform will not be sufficient. And if you think about, how many of, let's say, areas, how many of departments, how many of our function can use the platform and can benefit from what ServiceNow offers, this is really a solution that we all know is able to, cover entire enterprise. You will use or you will benefit from common service data model deployment for different areas, you can use it with different products available in the platform, depending, of course, of what you already roll out, or what you are using, or what's in your roadmap. We have ITSM, which, as you can see, CSDM and CMDB value and let's say usage will be critical for you. The change management, the reporting on our services. These are the things that CSDM will definitely facilitate. If you think about IT operations management, right? The value, very critical. Those foundations, CMDB, CSDM, right, can or will provide you the visibility into your environment. It will help to keep our system in health, and it will again provide the information of how our services are built, how they are mapped. IT asset management, again, you can see that that's a critical thing, and CSDM definitely helps with license positioning, and it will give you the visibility across operational and financial data. Application portfolio management, this business application repository, the way you are going to manage your application portfolio. From a CSDM and CMD perspective, really high impact. SecOps, DevOps, CSM, IRM, you can see that those are, again, areas. These are those products that are strongly connected to CSDM concept. How it is built and what it comprises of, right? You can divide CSDM into, or you should be, let's say, approaching CSDM looking at 5 domains that are building, let's say, or that will be providing information about our environment. So we have foundation data, right? And one of the main takeaways that I would like to share with you, and we see when we are deploying CSDM, is that many of customers don't pay enough attention and they are not focusing enough when it comes to providing foundational data that organization can trust. So things like users, groups, and especially locations, right? We need to take care of them before you would like to continue with CSDM implementation. So foundation, that's the first, let's say, domain, but then there are 4 additional ones that are covering, let's say, the design activities. When you design and plan what are the digital products that we are owning and maintaining. There is the domain covering, let's say, technical side of things. We have the domain that is focusing on selling, consuming the services or products to our customers. And there is the newest one, the red one, which is connected or which is describing activities that you are conducting to build or to develop, prepare new versions of your product. So it's basically dedicated to development activities connected to the products that we are maintaining, right? So this is the approach how CSDM is structured, and I've prepared, let's say, 3 slides that are precisely describing what are the components of each of those domains, right? So I'm not going to cover that, as like I mentioned before, it's really nicely described. You can look for resources. You can hear what Mark Bodman, Scott Lamb, so CSDM, let's say, founders are explaining to us how this is basically nicely covered by ServiceNow. But probably for most of you that are really touching this area, the version 3.0, right, of Common Service Data Model was the one that really provided us with definitions, that really provided us with, let's say, information of how we can start deploying CSDM. Some time ago, there was an update to version 3.0, and this is the one that right now is a current one, right? That right now is a valid one, let's say so. So to those design manage technical services and sell consume domains, the additional one was added. So we have this SDLC component within the build domain, which basically is focusing on, like already mentioned, covering all aspects of our software development activities. But what I wanted to show you is that ServiceNow is continuously working on, let's say, developing this CSDM concept. And this is the photo that I took from one of the last conferences, when you can see that the version 5 is coming, and it's also providing us with some additional components, right? So there will be another domain related to the idea, let's say, process and activities when we are planning and gathering information, gathering ideas about the products. And the sell, consume, and build domains are also extended, right? So as the future is going to bring, the CSDM version 5.0 will pop up quite soon, and additional components are going to be provided. Together with the structure of the tables, together with the data model that is related to the CSDM setup, there are, of course, dedicated tables, and there are dedicated relationships that, or suggested relationships that you should utilize when you are building, when you are defining your services, right? So what I'm heading with when it comes to this topic, when it comes to relation, is don't, or do whatever you can to stick to those out of the box suggested relations between tables. Don't try to create new ones. Don't try to connect the service or products components to each other with some custom types of relations. ServiceNow is providing the one that you see here, and this is really one of the, let's say, takeaways that we are facing with most of our, let's say, CSDM engagements. There are relations, suggested relations in place, and definitely you should focus on utilizing them. The example of how the service or the product can be designed by you, right? Following what I've already presented. These are the examples that you will easily find throughout ServiceNow resources, so community, YouTube support channel, product documentation. There are many of examples, and I just provide you with this sub-platform one, when you can see how the business application, which is basically a sub-platform, is designed and mapped into CSDM concept, right? So when you will look at the center of the screen, the blue, or let's say similar to blue a square, when we have our SAP platform defined as a business application, you can see connections to our capabilities, so organizational capabilities, the technical domain information, so what are the technology services, what are the offerings and CIs that are utilized to provide SAP platform to our users, and you can also see how this SAP platform is delivered to our users to, let's say, offer those values related to inventory management, or providing the information about the product line statuses. So that's the product of, or example of a product of a CSDM deployment. But of course, to get to this, let's say, state, a lot of activities needs to be covered, and you need to take care of, right? And that's one of the most commonly used approaches when it comes to rolling out CSDM, right? You cannot think about this as a big bang, let's say, approach, right? There is this crawl, walk, run, and fly stages that you definitely should follow. And that's another takeaway, right? Quite often when we are doing CSDM projects, customer is not properly covered with foundation data, but already wants to provide business services into our database. Of course, you can think of, let's say, different types of CSDM rollouts, but the one that really gives the most benefits is to start from securing our foundational data, and then moving forward, focus on business applications and application services, right? So let's think about what are the applications, business applications that we own. Let's review the repository. Let's see if what we have in ServiceNow is reflecting a reality. And then let's try to provide additional information or related to what are the application services, right? So what are the environments of particular business applications that we are owning? If we are able to identify what are those application services, so for example, SAP production instance or SAP development instance, then utilizing our infrastructure data, utilizing our CMDB, let's try to identify what are the components, what are infrastructure parts that are required to deliver application services, right? So the crawl phase should be secured in the way that business applications, application services, and our infrastructure is provided and connected by relations. If we have this in place, we can think of providing the technical service and technical offering information. And after that, there will be, or there should be, time to focus on business side of things, to focus on the business services that we would like to handle and their offerings, right? And in most cases, when companies, when customers are really, let's say, mature when it comes to the deployment, and when they are really achieving this run state, the fly is this addition to basically allowing our users to request for the services or products, or from the other point of view, we are able to connect the information that we have to our organizational capabilities. I can see that we are running out of the time. So this CSDM introduction will be followed by, let's say, the real case examples of taken from our implementations, and definitely some facts and takeaways that we were facing or we are facing throughout our CSDM projects. So thank you guys for this part. That was an introduction to CSDM. The other meeting, the one that will happen in next week, will be focused on more practical and let's say more practical things, and definitely I will share information on what we did, went through when or during the CSDM implementations. Thank you, and hopefully see you next week.